I am so excited to have my next guest join us. His new EP is called Love Bites, the one and only HUDDY.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for being here, man.
I'm glad to be here.
It's first for you, from what I understand, to be on camera on broadcast television.
I know this is my first time on television.
I'm surprised. Why is that?
I don't know. I don't think I've really thought about it. But actually, no. I was on television once, but it was when I was with like all my friends and we were in a house. I think it was Entertainment Tonight, but I could be totally wrong. But it was all of us, and we each had like one like talking segment, so it doesn't really count. This is my first time officially being on TV solo dolo.
Ah, all right. I thought it was going to be like I was at a San Francisco Giants game. I held a sign, and Dwayne Kuiper was like, "Oh, look at that fool."
Yeah, no, I haven't been. I also. When I go to the sports games, I get too nervous, and they like ask me like, "Hey, can we put you on the TV?" I'm like, "No, please don't."
That is shocking to me for someone that's at the forefront and a musician.
Yeah, no, but I just think like when I'm in like a crowd at like a baseball game, and they ask me that, they're like, "Hey, I was at the Dodgers game. They're like, "Hey, is it cool if we come up and like broadcast us having our mascot dump a bucket of popcorn on you?" I'm like, "No, thanks. I'm good."
Well, that I understand. I mean,
bucket of popcorn? Like, gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, first talking point, of course, we're both Northern California guys.
Let's go.
209, 408.
There you
now
go.
living in the 415.
Let's go.
Representing Stockton.
Representing Stockton here today.
You, Chris Isaac, and Pavement are kind of the notables.
There we go. Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I feel really good. I also have like a little bit of respect for every person that's like in the industry that comes from the Bay or comes from anywhere in Northern California, because I'm just like, respect. You made it out, and that is hard. And I was born in the Bay. I was actually born in Livermore. And both sets of my grandparents are Santa Ramon and Dublin, and so my mom and dad were raised there, and then made the choice to move to Stockton to raise their kids, and like fulfill their careers and everything. So I grew up in Stockton and Lodi, and that was really awesome for me. I got really into wine tasting with my dad recently.
Oh.
And that's something really fun because they don't have that much wine tasting down in LA.
Yeah. So have you been to Napa and wine country and done the tastings and all?
I haven't been to Napa, but there's a lot of like wine tasting places and wineries in Lodi.
Yeah.
And I want to go to Napa next. Now that I've like done it all in Lodi, like that's what's next on my list.
Yeah. So being from Stockton and kind of like out on the outskirts of the Bay, did you get a chance to come out, see some shows, go to Outside Lands?
Honestly, not too many. The one thing that I really got to do was I got to go to a few rap shows. I went to Rolling Loud, and I went to a Lil Pump, Lil Skies concert in like 2018, which was when they were both like at their peak.
Yeah.
And that was really fun, but I wasn't too big on concerts other than like when my parents would take me to like country shows that were in Sacramento. But if we're talking necessarily the Bay, like those are the two things I've been to out there. And I've played my own show now. Once I did a show in Santa Cruz on tour with Oliver Tree, and I did another show that was I forget what the name of it was, but it was almost like a day festival for Christmas time. That was I think it was called Poptopia.
Oh, okay.
So I did Poptopia, which is in San Jose at the Shark Stadium, and
it's a radio show.
Yeah. It was so cool.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So really not a lot of influence from going to shows in the Bay, because, Green Day being from the East Bay and all that.
My uncle, he was a drummer in a punk band, and he was signed to the same label that Green Day was founded.
Really?
Yeah.
What band? Have I heard of them?
Probably not.
Okay.
I think they gave up after a few years. They're like, God damn it, these Green Day kids are taking all the things that I could have had.
Right. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
How was turning 22?
Turning 22 was awesome. I did it a different way. I like to try to switch things up for my birthdays while I'm young and whatever. So I went to do a trip to Mexico last year when I turned 21, and this year I wanted to stay in LA and really celebrate with everybody, because I haven't, because I for my birthday last few years I've been traveling. So I did a party, release party, birthday party kind of a thing all at once, and it was awesome, dude. So many people showed up for me and really gave me some genuine love and heart to heart about the music and about life and where I'm at right now, and that's like something I really needed to hear. And like I didn't expect like that many people to show up for me, because dude, like at the end of the day, I'd stay at home and I'm chilling with my dogs, my girlfriend, and like hanging out with my friends every once in a while because I'm working all the time. And so like to see everyone in front of me, I'm like, oh, okay, this is how many friends I have. Like, what the hell? Like, I didn't even realize.
Yeah. Well, being from Northern California and outside of LA and kind of being still somewhat new, right? Less than 5 years.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. How do you discern the weekday friends from the weekend friends? Because the weekday friends will tell you the cold hard truth.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the thing that really separates it is like, who do you call when there's a problem?
Yeah.
And I think like asking yourself that question, who's been there for you recently, who's been helpful in situations and times of need. That's one thing. And also like another thing is just like, who do you have fun with? I think that's where you separate the two of them. And yeah, like I have my friends that I go golfing with, and I have my friends that I like go get brunch with, and like those are like the people you see on your day to day, and that's like your core foundation. You have like a inner bubble and an outer bubble, I would say.
Yeah.
And so you'll be able to figure out who your true friends are, through like the thick and thin, who's gonna be there for you when like you're like, okay, I'm gonna take a month break and I'm not gonna talk to anyone, and then it's just like, okay, but who would call you in that setting?
Yeah.
Those are your real friends.
What do you think the most important piece of advice you've gotten so far is? Because I'm sure there's a lot of experience behind these people.
That is a deep question. I think, I don't know who's said it, but the person that explained to me about timing being everything was something that was really special to me. And it wasn't like anyone important. It was like someone that I worked really close with in the industry. He told me that like taking your time is a really good thing with music, because if you just bombard people with everything all at once, it's not as special. But if you give everything its moment and everything its time, that you will be able to let people appreciate things more. And so not only does that come with music, but it comes with life, and like just knowing that you can be patient with yourself, and that even though time is always happening, time's flying, that if you allow yourself to give yourself some space, that you can know that there is always a time for you to go out and like start going at it again. And I think that that's what people are going to appreciate in the long run, is the time that you take for it.
Yeah. And that totally makes sense, because the sounds, the sonics on the new material is a definite restart, a refresh.
It is.
Even a maturation, I believe, because what you're influenced by when you're a teenager and now being in your early 20s is going to be different.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
I think that it happened naturally, because I was growing up at such a fast pace that I felt like I lived a new life every year of the journey I've been in LA, and I've tried something new every year that I've been out here. Like in 1 year I was living with all of my friends, and the next year I was starting to make music and starting to do a lot of new things. And then in between that time and now, I wanted to grow and learn and listen to everybody and really take in a lot of information and figure out like what my sound was and what was good for me when it came to making music, because it really like takes a second for you to wrap your head around like the whole bigger picture of it. And last year I started dating a girl, and we really fell in love, and so I wanted to take that time to really feel that completely and like let it be. And after that I started writing about it.
It's all over this material, man. I mean, it really does tell a story.
It does.
Starting off with the bad boy, you're not good for me, this and that, and then you eventually fall, and then you're like, hey, we're young, let's just go for it, even though we're on this journey growing up together.
Exactly.
Do I have that right?
Dude, you got it down to a T. I'm like, wow, sounds about right. Yeah, so when I was like single, I was being a little bit of like a bad boy where I was like, I don't know, just like trying to be rebellious, trying to like do the wrong things, waking up at fucking 2 p.m., like staying out late, and it's not for me. And like in that first song, it documents like the feeling of like thinking I'm this bad boy, but I'm not, and then like actually like leaning in towards it, but you see like where it starts to turn, where I'm just like, no, but then I was like, yes.
Right.
And like when I found that point, I think that's when everything changed for me, and where I became so much happier. But I was in a place where I was like very sad and like going through a lot of feelings and emotions. Like if you met me a year ago, I was probably a little bit more sad, and like you could feel the energy. And like now I feel like I'm like a completely healed human being. I'm 100%. I also like went through a year, lost a few friends of mine, and like that really affected me, and I didn't know how to like come to terms with it. I lost my grandpa when I was on tour. I lost one of my best friends, and then like 2 months before that, another one of my like best friends, like first friends to LA, like died a week after I got a tattoo with him, and like he chose this tattoo out for me.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I like that being like the memory, like right as my tattoo was healing, like my friend passed away, was really like dark for me. So yeah, I was just going through a lot of like things that I couldn't really cope with or wrap my head around, and so I was just like going through a rebellious phase where I was just like, get off, take a shot at 11 in the morning. I just woke up, but why not?
Yeah.
You know, where it's just like stupid, like conscious decisions. And I was just like, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like getting out of there was something that my girlfriend helped me really like,
Right.
get to.
Which is awesome to have that self-awareness. Some people live that lifestyle for years and years and years, decades even. They get addictions and things like that.
Yeah, I've aged a few years. I've taken a lot of advice. I've seen the world around me. Like I've seen it all, and now I have to make like more conscious decisions about like I need to start working harder. I need to start doing this and that, and I really like dialed in on what I needed to do to like better my career in a lot of ways.
It's like you went through that typical LA story of
Deadass.
getting through, making an impact in some way, finding people that enabled you down the wrong path, but then found a way out.
Yeah.
Like all within a span of like, a handful
a few
of years.
Now I just live with my girlfriend, and we take things so much easier. I honestly think life's like way more sweet now that I'm like actually getting out and doing things. Like I would say I'm proud of myself for going on hikes recently, or like going to the gym. It's something I would just avoid. I got like an in-home gym, and I would like barely use it. And like now that I'm like getting myself back, leaving the house, like I think there's more of like a routine to it than like doing something like just lifting dumbbells in my home and just being like, that's good enough.
There's something intentional.
There's intention behind it all. Yeah, exactly.
Congrats on everything.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate the time.
Yeah,
and,
no problem.
Look forward to all the new material, and best of luck, man.
I appreciate it.
Good to meet you.
It's great to meet you too, man. Thank you for having me on.
It's HUDDY right here on B-Sides.
Until next time. Ciao.